Okay, today I'm gonna show you the differences between some feedback pedals and the new feedbacker effect in the HX Stomp, or in the Helix series of the Line6 pedals. For this I'm using my regular guitar. It's on a nice dirty amp on the HX Stomp. Going to my regular pedal board, there are already two feedback pedals on this board, the Freqout and the Dr. Distorto, and for this instance I'm also using the Boss DF-2. I used to have the Boss FB2 feedbacker booster, but I sold that one, and yeah, it's not really that useful in this situation because with this setup I can play with headphones, and the FB2 is really a pedal for live amps because it boosts frequencies that are likely to generate feedback. And the other feedbacker pedals on this pedal board they generate a sort of synthetic kind of feedback. So that's what the shootout is about. So it's between the three feedback pedals and the new feedback algorithm in the HX Stomp. Okay, first of all, the super feedbacker and distortion. For this I'm using a clean tone on my HX Stomp. This kind of a Boss DS-2 Turbo Distortion along with the feedbacker. And the only control over the feedback is that you have an overtone knob where you can set the octave level. So this is with it completely off. Now completely on. And it holds the note forever. So the distortion is always on, and you can only add the feedback effect on top of it. You can't use the feedback part by itself. And the feedback side is a bit of a gimmick. It just holds the note you're playing and then adds a wild vibrato and maybe an octave if you turn up the overtone knob. But basically that's it. Now the Digitech Freqout has a little more options, but first I'm gonna switch back to dirty. Let's check out the first setting. This is an octave down. This is just a normal note. This was the second. That was the third. That was the fifth. And this is the natural low setting. And back to the natural high, which is my favorite setting. So besides the intervals, you also have control over the gain. So when the gain is down, you barely hear any feedback. And when the gain is up, it gets really loud. And also have control over the onset, which is the time that it takes to feedback. So this is really short, and that's quite long, so I like it a bit in the middle. Now you've also got a dry kill. And the dry kill is always on, so also when the pedal is not engaged. Only in the latching mode you can there's the dry sound. I don't know why anybody wants that, but yeah. I like it in the momentary with the dry kill off. So the Freqout by Digitech has way more controls over both the timing of the feedback and the interval that is in. So really versatile pedal. Now onto the Dr. Distorto by Line6. So now the feedback is off. And with the little switch on the bottom left you can turn it on. So now it ends the note because of the sensory noise gate that's also in the chain. Look mom, no hands. It goes on forever. So that's why I've got a noise gate in the chain, so it doesn't go on forever. Now with the Dr. Distorto you also have an octave up. There it is. So you've got the normal note or an octave up. That's the two choices you have. Or you can turn the feedback off. Now the cool thing about the Dr. Distorto compared to the DF-2 is that you can turn the distortion off by putting the drive control all the way to the left, which is it is right now. And with the clean sound. Yeah, it starts to clip a little. And you've also got controls over the tone and the level. But I like it clean with normal distortion from the amp, which is the HX tone as well. Besides control over which interval or which octave the feedback generates, there's also control over the rise and fall time. And yeah, the rise time is like the same as the onset on the Freqout. So fully clockwise, it takes a really long time to start feedbacking. Now with the fall knob, it dies out quite quickly. And with it all the way clockwise, it just goes on forever. you can blend in the feedback, but there's no way you can put it all the way to 100% width, and not completely dry as well. So it's always a bit of something in between. So the Dr. Distorto also provides a noise gate besides the feedbacker and the distortion side of the pedal, which has 2 settings, or 3 actually, and those are off, mild and clamp, which is a really big noise gate. So yeah, that's the Dr. Distorto. Now onto the feedbacker in the Line6 HX Stomp. You can see you have a lot of control over the parameters. I'll start off with the gain. It was up quite a way, so put it down. And all the way up. Yeah, it's quite it's quite there. Feedback types. Now you've got a lot of things. You've got 12 types of feedback here. Now this is the -1 octave. Unison. One octave above. Octave plus a fifth. Now that's 2 octaves. Two octaves in the third. 2 octaves in the fifth. And so on. Now these are interesting, mid to low. You can hear it sounds like an octave up that goes back to the low octave after that. Now high to low. That goes from high to low. Now also got a random trigger. Yeah, which goes to the interval options. Random onset as well. I like this random trigger one. Now there's also control over the attack and release. Yeah, basically the onset or the rise time of the feedback. Let's take the 2.5 seconds. Now release time as well. Because of the noise gate you can't really hear it. Now. Now I've got 3 options for the dry kill. It was off just a second and now. So this is the dry kill on and always. And when it's on always, the dry sound always kills even with the effect off. So yeah, something cool. Now the dry level. So that's cool. Now there's 2 different reference settings. Now it's on the lowest, but you can also put the loudest. This is mainly for chords. I think we can check this out better if we put it on a fixed interval. Let's go for the octave up. Now it's on lowest. Put it on loudest. So yeah, there's a big difference when you're playing chords. It's not really when you're playing single notes. Now the re-trigger mode is something where you can assign a footswitch to, and you can set the trills. So this is for when you turn off the effect. Now it's on. And with the trills off, it automatically shuts down when you disengage the effect. Now what's cool is that it always has the release time back in hand. It always takes a little time for it to release. It's a really short time, but it's, yeah, it evens it out nicely. It's not like it's completely gone when you disengage the effect. So that's kind of cool. Now as you can see, there's a lot of options here. There's way more options on the HX feedbacker effect than it is on any of the other pedals. The Digitech Freqout comes close, but yeah, it lacks features like the release time and the multiple feedback types like the HX Stomp has, like the high to low and mid to low and the random trigger stuff. And it also lacks the release time, which the Dr. Distorto has. So yeah, it's this one is way more versatile than any of the other stomp boxes that are on this pedal board. Now the main issue I have with this feedbacker effect in the HX Stomp is that it takes up so much DSP power, because you know, I've got 4 effects in here. One is just a random panning effect, so it really doesn't do much. I've got an 808 tube screamer kind of effect, and there's the amp sim. When I want to add another effect, you can see some of the reverbs are already grayed out. You can't really do one of those polyphonic pitch things. Now I've got a DSP heavy amp sim, which is Das Benzin Mega, but when you change it to the lead, there's even more DSP heavy amp sim. And now you can see there's only 2 reverbs that are available when you have this amp sim. So let's go back to the Mega one. So that's my main issue with the feedback effect on the HX Stomp. But other than that, it's way more versatile than any of these stomp boxes combined. So when you don't use a lot of effects on the HX Stomp, you can easily fit the feedbacker in between there. But other than that, if you are using a lot of DSP power, then I would recommend using a dedicated feedbacker pedal. But if you got the room on your pedal board, then I would advise to use a feedback pedal. Other than that, the HX Stomp is really great.